Good evening, and welcome to The Big Question. Tonight, we're asking a question that divides opinion around the world. Is space exploration a worthwhile endeavor, or is it a waste of valuable resources? To help us explore this complex topic, we have two distinguished guests with us in the studio. Arguing in support of space exploration, we have astrophysicist and science communicator, Dr. Ben Carter. Dr. Carter argues it's a vital investment in our collective future. And arguing that we should focus on problems here on Earth, we have development economist, Dr. Elena Vance. Dr. Vance believes our resources are desperately needed elsewhere. Welcome to you both. We'll begin with opening statements, starting with you, Dr. Carter.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a genuine pleasure to be here to discuss such an important subject. Since the beginning of our time as a species, we've looked up at the moon and the stars and wondered, what is out there? Exploring the unknown is a fundamental part of who we are. It's in our DNA to ask big questions, to seek difficult answers, and to push the boundaries of what we believe is possible. But I'm not here to talk only about dreams and curiosity. Space exploration is one of the most powerful engines for progress we've ever created, and its benefits are felt right here on Earth. Many people don't realize that technologies they consider normal today exist because we reached for space. The GPS in your car and on your phone that helps you navigate a new city, that system's entirely dependent on a network of satellites, a direct result of the space race. The special, enriched baby formula that helps infants grow strong and healthy was significantly improved by research into how to keep astronauts nourished on long missions. Even medical technologies that save lives, like the advanced imaging systems in MRI scanners, use software that was first developed to analyze pictures of distant planets. Furthermore, to protect our home, we must be able to see it clearly. Space gives us that perspective. Satellites in orbit are our global watchtowers. They monitor the paths of hurricanes, giving us early warnings that save thousands of lives. They track the melting of ice caps and the rise of sea levels, providing the essential data we need to understand and fight climate change. They even help farmers in developing countries to use water more efficiently and grow more food for their communities. And finally, let's not underestimate the incredible power of inspiration. Every time we launch a rocket, every time a child sees a new image from the surface of Mars, we ignite a spark of possibility. We inspire millions of young people to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the brilliant minds who will solve the great challenges of tomorrow. So space exploration is not a waste. It's a smart, forward-thinking investment that pays us back again and again. With life-changing technology, a safer planet, and a generation of innovators ready to build a better world for everyone.
Thank you. Dr. Carter speaks with great passion about the romance of the stars, and I can understand the appeal. It's a grand and exciting vision. But I must ask us to come back down to Earth. Because while some of us are dreaming of other planets, our own planet is in a state of crisis. The core of my argument is simple and cannot be ignored: the staggering financial cost. A single mission to Mars can cost billions upon billions of dollars. This is a number so large it loses meaning. So let us make it real. For the cost of one of these missions, we could build and staff thousands of new hospitals in communities that have no doctors. We could fund programs to provide clean, safe drinking water for every single person on the planet who currently lacks it. We could wipe out diseases that kill millions of children. This leads to my second point, which is about opportunity cost. The issue is not just about money, it's about our most valuable resource: human talent. Every brilliant physicist who's calculating the trajectory to Jupiter is a physicist who's not working on developing cheaper, more efficient solar panels to power our homes. Every gifted engineer designing a landing system for a rocky asteroid is an engineer who's not designing affordable, high-quality prosthetic limbs for people who have lost them. We have a finite number of brilliant minds, and we're choosing to send their attention to the stars. instead of focusing it on the ground beneath our feet. Finally, and for me, most importantly, this is a profound moral question. What does it say about us as a global society if we spend billions looking for water on Mars while human beings are dying of thirst in Africa? Do we have the right to invest in luxury exploration when basic human needs are not being met? My answer is no. Our first and most important duty is to care for one another. We must fix the deep and painful problems in our own global house before we start building a new one on another world. Space exploration is a wonderful dream for a future time, but it's a luxury we cannot afford today. Our resources, our money, and our best minds must be dedicated to solving the real life and death crises we face right now.
Thank you both for those compelling opening statements. You've clearly defined the terms of this debate. Dr. Vance makes a very powerful emotional and financial point about priorities. She asks if we have the moral right to explore. Dr. Carter, how do you respond directly to that? How do you justify the immense cost when the needs on Earth, as Dr. Vance described, are so urgent and so great? Is it truly worth the price?
That is the central question, and it's a fair one. The image of a starving child versus a billion-dollar rocket is powerful, but it is a false choice. First, let's be clear about the budget. The entire world's government spending on space exploration is a tiny fraction of 1% of the global economy. It's a very small number in the grand scheme of things. Globally, people spend more money on coffee or cosmetics every year than we spend on space. Governments spend hundreds of times more on military budgets. The money for space is not the reason we have poverty. More importantly, this is not an either/or situation. It's not a choice between feeding a child today and exploring Mars tomorrow. The two are connected. The investment in space technology creates solutions that help us solve those very problems. Dr. Vance asks about clean water. As I mentioned, the filtration technology perfected for the International Space Station is now used in portable water purifiers in developing nations. Think about firefighters. The lightweight, fire-resistant suits that protect them from flames were developed from materials created for astronaut suits and spacecraft. The technology we developed to keep a human alive in the most hostile environment imaginable, space, is precisely the kind of advanced technology we need to solve the toughest problems here on Earth. We're not turning our back on Earth. We're building a toolbox of new solutions to save it.
Dr. Carter frames this as creating a, quote, toolbox of solutions. He argues that these spin-off technologies, like firefighter gear and water filters, are a direct return on investment. Dr. Vance, you argue this is inefficient. Can you explain why you believe these clear benefits do not justify the original cost?
Certainly. The spin-off technology argument sounds good, but it falls apart when you examine it closely. It's a justification made after the fact, not a reason to spend the money in the first place. It's a very expensive, indirect, and inefficient path to innovation. If we need better fire-resistant materials for our firefighters, we should create a research project called Let's Invent Better Fire-Resistant Materials. We could give that project a few $1 million, and brilliant scientists would focus directly on that goal. We do not need to spend billions of dollars planning a trip to the moon to hopefully, accidentally, invent something useful along the way. It's like trying to get to the grocery store on the other side of town by first flying to another country. It's wasteful and illogical. This brings us back to the most critical point: urgency. Dr. Carter's, quote, investment might pay off in 10, 20, or 50 years. But a family that has lost its home to a flood needs shelter tonight. A patient waiting for a kidney transplant needs a medical breakthrough this year, not in a decade. The promises of space exploration are for a distant future, but the suffering is in the present. It's a matter of priorities. It's easy to talk about long-term investments and technological toolboxes when your own basic needs are met. But for a huge portion of the world's population, that's not their reality. Our moral and ethical duty must be to them first and foremost. We must address the immediate crises of poverty, disease, and environmental collapse with all of our resources and our complete attention.
And on that powerful point, we must conclude our debate. My sincere thanks to you, Dr. Ben Carter, and to you, Dr. Elena Vance, for an incredibly insightful and important discussion. We've heard two profoundly different visions for humanity's future. On one side, Dr. Carter presents space exploration as a vital engine for progress, a long-term investment that fuels innovation, protects our planet, and inspires the next generation. On the other side, Dr. Vance makes a passionate plea for us to focus on the immediate life and death needs of people today, arguing our resources are better spent solving the crises right here on Earth. The fundamental question remains for all of us to consider. In a world of finite resources, should we reach for the stars? Or should we concentrate all our efforts on healing the ground beneath our feet? Thank you for joining us on The Big Question. Good evening.